Hi, good evening, and thanks for coming. This week we're going to be looking at image maps for pick lists in Siebel Enterprise. Take, for example, the following list of accounts. You'll see that I have an account class. It's a standard static pick list with a drop-down: bronze, silver, gold, and customer. We're going to transform this into something a lot more attractive using HTML, icon maps, and bitmap categories. In short, we're going to be talking about changing this using an HTML map for images. So let's take a look. It's going to be the account list applet. In fact, it's the SIS account list applet. So let's go and see what we have in Siebel Tools. If we scroll up and take a look at our applet, there we go. The SIS account list applet has a couple of list columns based on the field displayed as account class. And it's the field called account type code. So account type code is the field we're going to need from the business component. So I scroll back down to business component account and select the field account type code. If I scroll across and identify that we have a pick list, I can drill down on the pick list, scroll across to the right or use the properties window and identify the type value. Now that we have the type value, let's just go and make sure that we're changing or that we're working with the correct list of values. Always a good thing to do. Administration data, and go to the list of values page. I'll query for our list of values type, and we can see that there are a lot of values, but the only 4 that are active are bronze, customer, gold, and silver. So we're definitively looking at the right list of values. Now that we know this, we can begin to work. First thing I'm going to do is create a calculated field so that the end user can still continue to modify this field, but we can use the calculated field as the basis for our bitmaps. The calculated field does nothing more than a lookup value to return exactly the same value in a non-editable calculated field. And I'm going to go ahead and display that calculated field in the list applet so that we can compare the functions. So as you can see here, I have my calculated field, read-only, calculated, but when I change the original field, of course, the value changes. So now we know that we have an operating calculated field. We can begin to work on it. The basis for our work will be these 3 image files: bronze.gif, silver.gif, and gold.gif. I'm going to move these 3 image files into the public images folder for my dedicated client. Of course, if you're using the thin client, you'd obviously have to place it in the right folder, but here we go. Public, ENU, images, and I'm just going to paste them in there. There we go. Now that I've pasted my files into the right location, I'm going to return to Siebel Tools, and I'm going to go and expose and access the bitmap category. I'm going to create a new bitmap category for the occasion. I'll use the same project, and I'm going to add 3 bitmaps. One called silver, with some alternate text if the image is missing, and the file name silver.gif. I'm going to go ahead and copy these records now and enter them as fast as I can. Oops, must remember to use the string override for demonstrations. Note to self, gold.gif, and bronze. Good. I'm going to change the name of this one as well. So now that we have our bitmap category, I'm just going to compile it. What else do we need to do? Well, we're just about ready to go and edit our applets, but before we edit our applets, we need to use the bitmap category in a way that is unfamiliar to a lot of people. We're going to create an icon map, so we need to expose another object. Icon maps allow you to align bitmaps with values in a pick list. And I'm going to create an icon map. And in my icon map, I'm going to associate my values with my bitmaps. I'm going to now copy these values and make my three records. Now that I have my image map, I'm going to go and make some changes to my applets. Specifically, in the SIS account entry applet, I'm going to make sure that I add a control, and this control is going to be displaying my calculated field. There's my class image calculated field in a control. I'm going to make sure that it's the correct field. I'm going to add a caption, and of course I'm going to add an HTML icon map, and I'm going to reference the icon map that I just created so that 3 of my 4 values will be mapped to bitmaps. Make sure, of course, in real life that the width and height of the image is just as you need it, and position the control wherever you feel fit. I'm going to use the entry applet because my images are quite large, so I'm going to leave the account list applet as it was. Make sure you compile the applets, the business component, the icon maps, and the bitmap category if you haven't already done so. And let's go and have a look at the finished result. First things first, in the account list applet, as before, nothing has changed because the list column doesn't have the icon map applied to it, so I see the old values in their calculated format. Down in the form applet, I have the editable original field and my calculated field, this time with the icon map. So now, of course, when I change values, I get an exciting bitmap. To have immediate changes, don't forget to use immediate post changes on the field. So there we go. We have a seriously sexy applet. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the CRM Cookbook.